going to talk about getting started today, right? What is in your hands? What can you start with today? So go ahead and put in the chat where you guys are from, where you're logging in from. That even include the people that will watch this on a replay later. You guys know I'm here for about an hour. So if you got any questions or concerns about this independent living facility model, you absolutely let me know. An ILF in an independent living facility model is an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So we always start with that. We don't want to just take for granted that people just know who we are and what we do. So again, if you don't know, again, we specialize in independent living facilities. And again, that's just an environment. That's a 3-bed, 2-bath home, 4-bed, 2-bath home, where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So a lot different from a traditional group home, a lot different from an ALF, a lot different from an ADD, all of these different kind of housing programs that you all have heard about that may require a license. So that's not this. You do not need a license to do what we do. You do not have to own the property, and there is no state oversight or no permission per se that you got to get from your state. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the right place. So again, Katara said I was correct about what I said about her. So now Katara, let's already forecast. What are you doing for your next property, Katara? Are you doing all privates? Will you split it up like the example I just gave? Because that's now become my favorite. Give me that 4-2. And I don't want 8 people. I don't want 2 people per room. I want 2 rooms private, 2 rooms shared. Or maybe 3 rooms private, 1 room shared. See how many choices you got in that? So to me, again, guys, y'all see how I get excited over this? And guess what? All of this is about helping people. Again, Derrick did say, y'all, listen to the Bible, the poor will always be among us. Somebody gonna slip in life. Somebody going have a little downside to life and they're gonna have to downgrade. Somebody not gonna make the best choices in life and they're gonna need y'all because the apartment gonna be too expensive. To buy a house gonna be too expensive. They can't pass the background check. They don't have a double deposit, a triple deposit. They don't have the first, last, and security, Katara. Katara, how many people you interviewed that only had the money to move in right now? They don't have the double deposit, Katara. Tia ain't charging a deposit. Tia's not charging a double deposit. She's not charging a security deposit. Guys, they don't have all of that. And that's why this model is needed. And when it's got its own bathroom, this is what you're calling the private suite now. So again, private suite means it has its own bathroom. Private room just means, hey, man, you got your own room and you never have to share it. I went too far, y'all. Hold on. Let me go back. So this same setup minus that bathroom is just a private room. When Tia put that room suite on it, the price change and it brings about a different customer. That military veteran that they get $3,000 a month and not that normal $900 like the rest of your guys, Tia, he don't want to share no room. I bet you right now Tia can tell y'all what that call sounds like when the guy say, oh yeah, well actually no, Tia can't. Katara can because Tia don't do shared anyway. Now Tia can tell you what it sounds like when they are looking for the shared and all she got is private. But Katara get this call all the time. Hey, yeah, I want that private room y'all got. Yep, and my income $620 a month. He probably don't have enough for it. Everybody wants the private room, but most of them can't afford it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm going to move on, right? Because I got a family here that is asking this. Matthew family, this is y'all biggest question, right? You said, what is the difference between the ILF and a licensed group home? First of all, getting it started, there's no license required to this. We taught a lady this by the name of Francesca Dawson. Most people here know her. She's got both. She's got an ILF and an APD. APD stands for Agency with Persons with Disabilities, right? A licensed group home. Francesca got into the ILF, y'all, in 3 months and had 3 houses. It took her 3 years to get her first facility with the APD. walkthrough, sprinkler system, staff, oversight from her state, city. It's governed. She drowns in paperwork. Now, does she love it? She absolutely loves it. Now, she will tell you that paperwork, woo, she drowns in it. She's very honest about that. She doesn't like the paperwork. But other than that, she absolutely loves them both. But when you ask about startability, if that's a word, which one can I start faster without less headache and get started now? What you think funded the license place? She had all of these ILFs now. Cost effective, affordability, community, all those things. So again, no staff is required for the ILF, y'all, which also makes it more affordable to start. Francesca's looking for staff right now. So if you're a licensed nurse, and Francesca probably ain't even on here, but I'm gonna give her some free ads right now on me. If you're an LPN, registered nurse, or you got those licenses to work to care for people that are in an APD, let us know. Francesca's actually looking for staff and pays really well, right? Now, the ILF, Francesca doesn't need staff because all of her clients are independent. The people that are in her APD, they need help all around the clock. They have to be watched 24 hours a day, be taken on trips, outings, that to feed them. Certain things have to be in the refrigerator. People come through and literally tour her refrigerator and freezer. You should have seen the protocol she went through during these storms. In fact, I need to pull Francesca on here. You guys need to hear that from her. All of the protocol that she had to have for each different person. Each person has their own, per se, case manager. Wow. So again, this is the reason why we like the ILF model, this shared environment. No staff. I don't even have to own the place. Francesca owns the property she's doing this out of, y'all. Can't go rent that place. ILF, shared housing, allows residents to have one payment that covers all expenses, rent, utility, everything's at a one-stop shop. Another thing that I like about the ILF model, a lot of the people that I'm housing, y'all, they're very handy. They can fix things. That's not a company that I call right here, guys. This is two of my clients fixing my garbage disposal in one of my ILFs. Katara, you know what? You know how helpful that is not to have to use that insurance that I tell y'all to get? Tia, you know how powerful that is that these guys want to fix my sink? They take pride in that. Like, guys, when I first started, now I'm going to be honest, I did hire staff and I had a maintenance guy, I had a landscaper, I hired people to come in and clean. That was dumb. All of these people that you're housing with this model, they can do all of that stuff. And guys, they want to do it. That's what's so powerful about it. And right behind me, some of y'all can see my little white vision board thing behind me. But on that board, I've always written, Tia, that I want to house these guys, but I want to give them a job too if I'm able to. Why y'all think I just started this power washing company? Not all for me. I want to be able to give these guys jobs. Because my coaching will teach you, keep them busy and you keep them out of trouble. Type amen in the chat if you believe that. Because again, if I'm keeping my guys busy, I'm keeping them out of trouble as well. And it's giving them something to do and it put money in their pocket so they don't go do stupid stuff. Does that make sense, everybody? Or am I just blabbering? But these are all the reasons why I like to do this. Them same landscapers I used to hire, man, these guys say, Mr. Derrick, if you just go get me a weed eater and a lawnmower, we'll do it. Why are you paying these guys? Ding, 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 dummy me. Thinking I'm all big and bad. Thinking that was dumb, y'all. Housekeeping, cooking, and other responsibilities are shared among the tenants. With that licensed facility, guys, you got to have an industrial kitchen. You got to have a set menu. You got to shop for food a certain way according to their nutritional needs. Guys, I don't know what these guys want to eat because they cook their own food. And it keep you out of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. All of that, what I just talked about, was for the ILF. Now, this licensed group home, and watch this, because somebody will say, wow, Derrick, man, you really don't like these licensed places, right? Well, no. Don't get it twisted. I got nothing against it because they all got their own place. But when you talk about getting started right now, easier, faster, and maybe start your license place later like Francesca did. Why take 3 years to start a place and then go get an ILF? No. Start ILF now and get your license place later. Seems like that just makes sense to me, because now you will learn some stuff and you will figure out whether you like this or not. Does that make sense, everybody? Licensed group home, you need staff. That's the first thing on this slide. Them people work at that place. You got to hire these folks. The clients at a licensed place, you better not have them working and cutting grass. Oversight from your state and your county. I think it said country there. All this oversight, state regulations, compliance. Y'all ought to see the paperwork Francesca has to do every month to keep that place open and alive. And again, guys, she loves the business itself and helping people, but she'll tell you about that paperwork. And very expensive to hire somebody. In this model, clients are not independent when the place has to be licensed. That's the whole reason why you need a license, guys. That's the difference in what we do. Remember, you got to have a sprinkler system, fire alarm system. And if you're in Florida, we've all heard of ACA, the Chief Health Policy and Planning Entity for the U.S. state of Florida. Nothing gets open in terms of a group home, an IDD, APD without going through these people. You're going to get to know them real well. If you're in Texas, you probably got to go through the Texas Health and Human Services Commission. If you're in North Carolina, which all kind of bad things have happened there lately, I'm sure there's a wait list that's even longer than usual. You probably got to go through this department. Guys, I got them all here for you. You in Georgia? Georgia Department of Community Health, dedicated to providing access to affordable quality health care. All them kind of places that need a license. If you in Virginia, again, a lot of y'all folks from over there, Virginia Department of Medical Assistance Services. It's the agency that administers Medicaid and the State Children's Health Insurance Program, the CHIP program. All you guys that say, well, yeah, but my heart is for the kids. I want to help the children. No problem. But you got to go through these people. It's a lengthy process. And not that you can't do it. But y'all, I'm a coach. I'm a consultant. I see a lot. A lot of people don't have what it takes, like Francesca. 3 years for somebody to say, yes, you can do this now. Lord have mercy. Think about if you bought that property. You leased that property and it take 3 years to get your yes. Nothing wrong with getting this, guys, but why not get something that's not going to take so long? We're going to take a break real quick, right? And when we come back, I'm going to talk about the future of independent living facilities. Why is this the newest way that a lot of people will have to live? But why is this also the newest way that people like Miss Tia, Katara, myself, Tiffany, Dornico, the Jones family, the Marsha family, the Franklin family, why is this going to be the new way that we're also going to be able to invest in real estate? No more renting one house to one family for one income. Why not do a model like this, to where Tia go and take that 4-bed, 2-bath home and house 4 people that will be homeless on the street without her program, and they all pay rent. Not one set of rent coming in. One asset rented to multiple people for multiple incomes. We'll be right back. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. All right. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate it. Don't forget, if you text the word HALF, HALF, you can get our one-on-one coaching for half off the original price, right? No questions asked. Text the word HALF, HALF, just that one word to 407-326-0086. In fact, we're scrolling it right now across the bottom of your screen. And also, if you text that phrase more info, that'll give you our introductory webinar. When I come on these lives, I just treat y'all like family, and we just kind of bounce all over the place and we hit certain topics. But that introductory webinar explains how to get started, what this is in a chronological order, right? It's more in order, right? Versus me just kind of bouncing all over, just giving value in different places. So again, text the phrase more info. That's just MOREINFO to that phone number scrolling below. And again, to get our newest ebook, you just text the word new, because as of November 1st, that book will be for sale. And it's called How to Avoid the ILF Fiasco, right? Avoiding the 12 dumbest mistakes I ever made. And I list all 12 of those mistakes out in terms of what was dumb about it and what we should have done. So that's why I like that book. That's probably, besides my original book, guys, the one that I first wrote ever, that's probably now my most favorite book. And I think I got about 8 books out now. But How to Avoid the ILF Fiasco is absolutely free to you all, because again, to me, I listed the 12 dumbest, and my team didn't allow me to use the word dumbest. So I think they changed it. I can't even remember, but I wanted to name 12 dumbest because I thought they were dumb after you learn it. But guys, the 12 dumbest mistakes that I made, you guys get that book for free. So just text the word new, N-E-W, to 407-326-0086. And one of the biggest mistakes in that book, again, guys, was that $40,000 lawsuit. I talk about it in that book. And I also talk about the opposite of what you should have done. So a lot of times people will write a book and just talk about kind of the thing, but I also did a different side of that book too. I think I even did it in bold writing. I think my team did it that way, where we talked about what we should have done and what was the difference in those two, right? So back to today's topic, again, the future of independent living and more so importantly, shared housing. Guys, things are just really expensive, right? Things are super, super expensive no matter where you live at, all 50 states. Obviously, California is more expensive than Alabama, right? And New York is more expensive than just say Georgia. But no matter where you live at, guys, it's expensive everywhere. And quite frankly, the shared model is what a lot of people are going to anyway, where multiple families are housing together. That's where you may have a family, but cousin and Auntie Joanne and Uncle Jojo and everybody else has to move in now because the mortgage or the rent is so high, nobody can afford it on their own. So essentially what they're doing is putting all their funds together and living together. Now, on a whole nother side of things, there's a certain population of people, and I'll even say ethnic groups of people, that this is what they just believe in anyway because they just think it's smart. Prime example, right? And this is no knock. This ain't no racism or any of that stuff. But I live in an area where I grew up, especially in the Polk County area, and Tia can attest to this, where the Hispanic culture, they've always worked together, meaning that if it's 10 of them, they're going to work together until they got enough money to buy Jose his first truck. When Jose get his truck, we all work together again until Raphael get his truck, and so on and so on. And then they buy a house. But everything's done together, and then they branch off and help everybody. First of all, that's a genius concept. Most of the African-American concept, we don't really like that. Even though it's so smart, we just want our own, right? And there's a lot of coaches that do that, but I'll just pick on ours for now because that's me. And I'll talk about the Hispanic culture because that's what I've seen. They do a really great job of working together and putting their funds together to make it work for everybody at the end. That's no different from what we're seeing now in just regular life with real estate and housing, because it's so expensive that families are moving in together. I even read an article where families are now buying bigger houses and 2 or 3 families are moving in again together just to be able to afford it. So again, on one side of it, it's the affordability for the people. You guys are being asked by us and employed by us to say, start your own housing program so that you can house people in environments that look like this, because they can't afford their own apartment. They can't afford to go out and buy their own house. Their background may be stopping them from that. Their financial state may be stopping them from that. But what if they can afford a shared living environment? Most of y'all know that this all started because I worked in a mental health hospital. So my love is the mental health folks, people that got depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, because they run into problems in life and they end up homeless. And that's just where my heart is. But guess what's been happening over the last 2 or 3 years, though? We're housing the everyday Joe, as I would say, or the everyday person that there is no mental health. There is no physical health. He just can't afford this dadgum apartment now. The wife and him got divorced and they can't afford to live together. So guys, we see all kinds of situations now. And if you're a housing provider with us, you should type, yep, because you see it too. And guys, it's all over the world where things are getting tighter and tighter. Jobs aren't paying what they should. But everything keeps going up, grocery, lights, water, cable, Wi-Fi, all of these things where people say, man, I can't afford to live on my own now. So sometimes living to this shared living environment, people have to just because of what it's come to. It wasn't always at a point where people had to live together. But now because things are so expensive, this is becoming a choice for a lot of people because now they have no choice. Does that make sense, everybody? So again, this shared living environment, these shared accommodations is what people can afford now. Now watch me go on the investor side of it. A lot of you guys in here are also investors. You love God, you love people, and you love real estate. So on the investor side, because I do both of these, I house families, I house women and children, but the ILF model is for the single adult male, the single adult female. Now I take that same property. Watch this. I'm going to just give you an example of a property that I have in Georgia. I have a 3-bed, 2-bath home in Warner Robins, Georgia, right? A lot of you guys have seen those pictures, the rehab and all of that stuff. It's a family that lives there. And according to my property manager, who gave me all the details about everything, she said, well, Derrick, wife and husband are kind of not together anymore. Husband's gone, but the wife is a pretty good lady, real decent, still paying the rent. And she's got 2 kids before all this happened. But guess what happened over the last year and a half, y'all? She got pregnant, had an addition to the family. So now it's mom and 3 kids. Guys, if I remember correctly, we collect about $1,400 in rent on that property. If I take that same property as an investor and say, you know what? I'm not doing families no more. I can be like Tia, and I can put 1 person per room, and that's 3 people. In Warner Robins, Georgia, I can probably pull that off at $700 to $800 per room. Let's go on the low end. If I do $700 per room, and the master is bigger, so I can actually do $800 in that one. But let's just say for easy math, and I'm no math genius, but 7 times 3 is 21. You mean to tell me I can go from $1,400 a month to $2,100? That's a $700 increase just by changing the model as the investor? Lord have mercy. Now you talk about times in that 700 times 12. Somebody help me in the chat. What's 700 times 12? Because now that's the difference in what I'm making as the investor, just simply from going from housing a mom, dad, and 3 kids to housing 3 people. Somebody please put that in the chat, because now I'm going to go to 6 people. And because I talk fast, I'm going to slow it down. We got a house in Warner Robins, Georgia, that I house a mom and 3 kids. $1,400 in rent. I now go to the model where I house just 3 people in that place and give them all their private room for $700. 700 times 3 is 2,100, y'all. So now that extra 700 times 12 is what? Somebody please put that in the chat for me. What is that math? That's what we're getting extra now as the investor. See how smart that is? But what if you're not like Tia? What if you're not like Katara's newest place, to where she's doing only private rooms? And nah, Derrick, I want to help more people, and Derrick, I want to get this money. Derrick, I'm doing 2 people per room, and Derrick, I'm gonna do $600 per bed. Guys, in that 3-2, I now take 6 people from homeless to hopeful. 600 times 6 people is $3,600. You just now went from $1,400 to $3,600. Now do you see why people call this real estate on steroids, Tia? Now, we don't call it that, but a lot of people that meet us for the first time and realize what this model is, they say, wow, this is like real estate on steroids. Yes, because I just took my $1,400 a month that I was getting, put it on steroids, and now it's getting $3,600. And guess what? The crazy part about making more money in this business is because you're helping more people.